Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4TV. I wasn't sure this was going to go ahead because Progressive Pool showed up at the last minute, but we have a one-loss side match in the 2024 Virtual Cowboy World Championship. It's just got underway in a race to three. We've got Progressive Pool, who I never even thought to look, according to the flag, comes from Australia. And who still is unrated. And also we have Sergeresh, who is from Belarus. So let's get in. And that's the wrong room I've got in. Why the hell did I end up doing that? That's the one I want to go in. Right, we're in at last. So Progressive Pool. Everything seems to have stalled here. I don't know what's going on. But he's on a run of 7, according to what I can see in the HUD. So he's already had 2 visits to the table after having broke off and having won the lag. Sergeresh is yet to get off the mark. Seems to be bits of delay between him taking his shots. Hope this doesn't go on all night. We could hear for a while. Well, Progressive Pool, in his first round match, played Coldest Pillow. Coldest Pillow, who'd never really played Cowboy before. I don't know anything about this Progressive Pool guy. No clue who he is or whether he's actually from Australia either. But Progressive Pool, if I remember right, won the first rack against Coldest Pillow until Coldest Pillow began to find his feet. You know, after a few sort of mistakes with the rules and stuff, he came on fairly strong the rest of the match and won it comfortably in the end, 3 racks to 1. And if I remember also, with Sergeresh, let's have a look at his to remind me. We can find him on the bracket. Yeah, Sergeresh was disappointing. You Plonker Rodney comfortably beat him 3-0. So Sergeresh has got room for improvement, shall we say. And of course, he will have to if he's going to survive. Welcome to Tam. Didn't think this was going ahead, this match, because Progressive Pool turned up at the last minute. Oh, one other thing. The schedule has been updated. There's another match been added, and it's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. British Summer Time. We've got the match with Larry and Linus on the one-loss side. Larry will be favourite for that. And then, of course, we've got the one outstanding match with Tam and Slim up coming on Sunday afternoon. As I say, I work till about 12:30 on Sunday, so by the time I get home it's 1 o'clock. I need to have something to eat, so I don't know whether I'll be there right at the start of the match, but I will be trying to make it on time if I can. Well, back at the table, we've got Progressive Pool on a run of 31 here. Come in about 5, or you mean after it's all over? Oh, you never know, I might fall asleep. That's the other problem when I get home. It might be that exciting a match that when I do get into it, I fall asleep while it's on. Well, this needs to get a little bump one way or the other, and that might work. In fact, it will work. I mean, you can play a little post follow here and get it. He's looking to bump behind the 3, I think, but the little post follow is on. Oh, he's been very lucky there. Look at what he's left. He's left a dead set combo. That is certainly lucky that he's done that. But the run continues to 39. And remember, this is the guy that Steve decided he was putting out the tournament because he's got no record whatsoever in tournaments. And he insisted, progressive pool that is, that he wanted to play. So I've never seen him here any other time doing anything or playing anything. And well, he showed up tonight and he's on a run of 41. The 3 ball just dropped in at the last second there. Well, he's certainly no rookie, let's put it that way. He's far from it. Well, this is the thing that can prevent the long run, is he's going to have to dig out a good pot now to stay at the table. Now, if he pots this sort of pocket weight, lets the cue ball come back up, he may well be set for a carom from the 3 to the 5. But you know, when you start leaving more awkward pots at distance, that always is going to be the thing that threatens to end your run. So the run ends in 46, which is good enough. And Sergeresh knows exactly what he has to do now, which is what he didn't do at all in his winner side match, or his first round match. He was exactly like I was, crap, inconsistent, which is no good. But there's nothing more to focus the mind on this when you come to the table and you're 50 odd behind. Cue ball's gone. Oh, tell you, he's lucky. He might still be unlucky as well, because I don't think he's got a shot. He's got no shot. He can't get to the 3. He's stuck behind the rail, behind the cushion, and the best he'll get out of this is a possible bank on the 5. Nothing else. He's got it. That's a good recovery. Desperate to make that bank there, to stay at the table, keep the run going. That 3 ball needs to stay in play. It can't go nailed to the rail. Little bump. So he should be fine as long as he goes left or right of these 2 balls. He doesn't want to come down on top of them. And he doesn't want to go too far up into the table, because he might be too straight. Yeah, see where he's put the cue ball? That's where he didn't want to be. Exactly there. This is going to be touch and go, whether he can get anything out of this. I think he's too tight a line here. And he's just spun it and held it. Very close, but he'll take it. Good evening to Mark. What, 40 games of straight cowboy? Well, I'll give him a bit of leeway for that then. Which, let's be honest, is not a lot. Well, the question, of course, we ask is that, you know, he's got a little run going here. Can he keep the points? Because that's probably a bigger priority than anything. Whether he gets to 57's immaterial. What matters is that what he does get, he keeps. So the run can't end with a scratch. That's a big fail if he does that. So he needs to just, take what he can get, and rather than maybe taking a risky shot or running a cue ball for a carom, that he's doing right now, and he's got it. It might be better just to wind it in and sort of duck and dive, just preserve what he has, and at least give him a stepping stone to move on from. If he does all this hard work to get to 30 odd or 40 and then loses it, he's back to square one. Well, I think that's actually probably a good thing there that's happened. He's missed the carom, but he scored 30 and he's kept them. I think that's more important, the fact that he missed the carom and stayed good. At least he's got a footing in the rack and something to build on. And I think Progressive Pool didn't get the hit, so straight away Sergeresh back at the table. Now, I wonder if anybody else is like me, well, of course, because of my working hours and the fact I very rarely watch telly, I mean, have any's actually watched any of these debates they've had at night, where they have the question and answer thing? I've paid absolutely no attention to any of it. I see the Tories went to Silverstone or whatever it was the day to release their manifesto or introduce their manifesto. I mean, why don't they just call it bullshit? Yeah, it's the it's the Labour Party's turn to give us their bullshit today. Not rather than calling it a manifesto, just call it a pile of bullshit, because that's all it ever is. Yeah, I'll be glad it's all over. Oh, Sergeresh adding to his last visit, and he creeps ever closer to his opponent. Oh, that's what I mean. No politics. That's why I've had no interest in it. I'm just wondering whether anybody else has actually paid any attention. That's what I was asking. Yeah, because what's his name? He called a snap election, didn't he? I saw that in the news this morning. Now, you go from one extreme to the other, though. Look at India; they had an election, and it took bloody 6 weeks for for all the votes to come in. I mean, that's just dragging it on far too bloody long. Well, Sergeresh now takes the lead. Now, this again, I mean, it's a run of 40, and this would be painful to lose. He's got to really be careful. But this is a much better effort already from Sergeresh than what we saw in his first match. Welcome to Travis. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Now, I think that might be tight for no, it isn't. It's perfect for the force follow. And the one ball's back in play. Well, he can go back and forward here with the force follow where that 5 ball's sitting. Or a little edge off the 1. And of course, again, he might be, I think he's still okay, is he? No, he might be too straight this time. Yes, he is. So, right, take the medicine, take the money and run. I mean, in actual fact, he's got a stun off the 1 to the long rail there past the side pocket to get to that 3 ball if he wants to risk it. And he is risking it. Oh, and that's unlucky. But again, I mean, it was a safe shot because he was very unlikely he was going to scratch. And so that's a very good contribution of 44. And it gives him a lead. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been 3 railing it. I would have been doing as I called it because it was an easy stun with the angle he had to get to that long rail and bump the 3. He just missed it by a fraction. But it was a safe shot. I tend to 3 rail balls that are closer to pockets rather than where that 3 ball was sitting. So now we've got an interesting first rack here. This is going to have to be a little stun bump to the 5. Try and get it into play. Oh no, he's trying to go behind it. Well, that's improved it slightly. I didn't think he could get it thin enough to go behind it there. Well, again, you've got to remember about the follow-up carom, and he's trying to play the 5 to the 1. He doesn't want to go too tight. That'll do. I mean, he could draw from the 3 to the 5, but if he plays a gentle 5 to the 1, then he'll leave the 1 on and get it on its spot. And and that's the shot I'd be playing. I'd be playing to get that 1 into play rather than doing this. And there's why. Because now he needs a pot. Well, he's lucky. The 3 ball's fallen into place, but that I would have played the 5 to the 1 there and brought that 1 in play. Because this is now going to stifle his chances of progressing this run. If he can get the stun working here, he might be good to go though. Got to play the 5. On 78, get the 5 on its spot. 3 balls now more in play. Oh, he's missed out on the carom. The run ends in 23. He's only got a 9-point lead. And Sergeresh hasn't got an easy starter here. He's got a pot and a 5. That 3 ball's way too tight. I mean, it'll go into the side, but it's not easy, that angle either. Well, that's a good shot, and the cue ball's running at a nice pace to go above the 3. That'll give him an option. He can go 5 to the 1, he can go 3 to the 1, he can go 3 to the 5. And now you've got to be paying attention to the score. Well, again, he should really just be putting the 1 on its spot here and staying in the kitchen. That's what he should be doing. He's come up a bit too high. Yeah, that's no good. That's too heavy. Now he's got this. He's got the sucker scratch shot coming up here, folks. Well, he's missed it. Oh, hang on. He's going to get second prize, I think. Yeah. But again, he's not finished good in a pot. He can play a fairly safe cut in a 3 if he wants to go at it. Well, if he doesn't, and if he does play it and doesn't pot it, then he's probably not setting up an easy carom. The fact that he's leaving it there and taking a more difficult one. He's got the bank though. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, he's getting a little roll here. So we're all square, 83 apiece. 84. Now, the 5 would be 89. The 5 goes on its spot, and if he stays up there, which is what I think he's trying to do, no, he's trying to come back. Now, he doesn't want to be in line. I think that's good enough. Got to watch he doesn't pot the 5 now. Well, it's going to need a good follow-up carom unless he's going to stun. Yeah, he's running loose. And this is a dangerous one as well, because you're trying to play the 5 and the 2 railer to the 1 ball, but the danger is you actually pot the 5 on the side. That's the danger with this shot, because you're so focused on the line that you're trying to get to the 1. He's going the other way, trying to get to the 3. Well, the run ends, and he's on 91, so he's into the caroms. So here we go. The race to the finish line in the first rack. The first rack has been on. How long has it been on? 25 minutes. Progressive Pool now takes the lead. Force follow is on from the 5 to the 3, and if he gets the pace right, he could be in business here. He's gone too wide. Oh, he would have been in real business there, but as it is, it's going to be Sergeresh that's got the chance. Now, how can he work these? He's in a tight space here. That's the first problem. I think what I would have tried there would have been a double kiss off the yellow to bump off the 1 ball to bump me into the 5 rather than doing that. I think I would have played it at such a weight that it would have, the 5 ball wouldn't have got away too far. So all square again. That's going to be on the other side. Now the 5 ball's dead in the water, so that's going to have to be potted at some point to progress this rack, because we'll be here all night. Well, he's got another 2 railer, possibly a 3. He's going left side. This is good looking. Yeah, very well done. Well, those 2 points are vital now, especially when you look at the state of the 5 ball. And you know, if this was me, I'd be looking for the first opportunity where the table's sort of difficult, where I could risk potting that 5. Now, in some ways, you can try and shape the table that would allow you to, if you're trying to control things, there is a way to try and get these balls into the kitchen whereby you might have a shot at one time where you can pot that 5, follow it in, or even just leave. You know, you've got to do something to try and bring the 5 up on the table. And if you have the other 2 balls in the kitchen, the first thing about that is that from ball in hand, your opponent can't play the 2 balls in the kitchen. You're at least leaving him a difficult option when it comes to the table. So Sergeresh can't let this go on and on. He's got to be, you know, thinking ahead. And as it is, you know, Progressive Pool is just going to pick off caroms as and when he can get that chance. Sergeresh is not giving himself a chance, but he's not really had the right time to make a move with that 5 ball yet. Now, he's got a chance here where if he wants to, he can just try and bring the, you know, he could try and bank the 3 ball onto the 5 here. You see, he's trying to score points when the table's not good to be scoring points. I'm thinking more how I can give myself the best chance of trying to survive here. And he had a good opportunity there where he could have banked that 3 onto the 5. And as long as the 3 didn't follow it in, the 5 would have come up on the table. The table would not have been easy for a carom. So, you know, like Tam said, Sergeresh hasn't played a lot of Cowboy, but the one thing about Cowboy is the strategy side of things when you get down to the caroms and the tables like this and the scores like this, you've got to start thinking. And I think Sergeresh has missed a trick there with that 5 ball. And the longer it sits there, even less his chances are of getting out of this. 100%, I'm certain. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. Now, believe it or not, this is a much better table now for Sergeresh to deal with that 5 ball. So if you've got Progressive Pool trying to do something off the 1 ball here, that's fine. It all depends on where the 1 ball ends up. Now, see, the 1 ball's going up to that corner, and he's got to take a chance here and pot this 5. He's got to take a chance, and he's still not doing it, and he's missing it. He's ruining his chances here of surviving this rack. That was a better opportunity again to just pot the 5, take the risk that he might leave his opponent a scrap. But let's be honest, he's at the stage where he has to take a risk now. There's no point in that sitting there. I don't think he's gonna outwit Progressive Pool already trailing before. But he might be doing this to prove me wrong, but I don't think it'll work. Well, now he has to try and get the carom without potting a 3. And of course, that's exactly what he does. You know, this rack is just going to drag on until eventually Progressive Pool either gets the caroms that he needs, or that 5 ball then is accidentally going to be potted. Because Sergeresh has got no notion of potting it at all. And as far as I'm concerned, he's had 2 opportunities where he could have potted that, he could have brought it into play, and he wouldn't have left an easy carom for his opponent, and he's not seen it. He's not seen the opportunity. He doesn't look as if he's got any intention of trying to improve the situation for himself, in which case it's just a matter of time. You know, there's another one for Progressive Pool. He'll probably be quite happy to wait here all day to eventually get to his 100. And all the time that's going on, Sergeresh is not doing anything. He's not adding to his score. He's not trying to improve the table. And so that's something Sergeresh needs to learn. There are times in the carom phase of the game that you must be proactive to try and help your case. You can't battle with just 2 balls on the table. It's a hard chore to try and get rid of a deficit, which is now 5. Well, that's it. You know, he's just walking a tightrope. He's walking a tightrope that he's losing. He's not adding to his score. It's Progressive Pool that's getting the points, and so he's running out of time and options, because look where the 3 balls sitting for a start. 3 balls sitting on the 5 spot, more or less. The best thing that would happen here is that 5 ball accidentally get knocked in somehow. Well, now he'll probably play the draw to at least get a point back. Well, he'll be able to get another one here. He's got to hit this hard enough though to get this 3 ball running. Got to hit it hard. I'd be hitting it harder than that. Yeah. Well, I think he can maybe squeeze another point out of this. Maybe his strategy will work. Who knows? But he's got a possibility of another one here as well. But that's not the way I'd have played it. I mean, 10 minutes ago I would have had that 5 ball on its spot. I can guarantee you that. Yes, I might still end up losing the rack, but yes, I'm doing myself a favour by getting into play. But I'll tell you something though, fair play to him, he's working hard. Now, he doesn't... Does he want to risk doing it here? Because he's got to be careful with this 3 ball. And he's still good. And he's now in the lead. The run is 6. Well, I definitely don't have the patience to arse about for 20 minutes in the carom. I would much rather bring all the balls into play. It puts the pressure on your opponent as well as giving yourself... Well, this is good. This is good. As well as giving yourself a better chance of getting out also. Well, it's looking like his strategy is working so far. It was looking bad at one point, but this contribution here, well, this is dangerous. But again, the good thing is he's missed it by a mile and he's not risk scratching. But and now what he's done is he's killed the 3 ball. Now somebody's got to make a move here. Well, so the first thing I'd be doing is getting a 5 in the spot. Easy enough to stop the cue ball on the edge of the pocket and just bring the 5 out. I don't see the logic in that at all. Right there, I have no clue what that was about, because the 1 ball was more or less fine where it was. It was at least on the table. and it wasn't right in the pocket. It's the 5 ball that he needed to get into the table. So maybe Progressive Pool is going to regress into his shell here, because now he's trailing by 2. Yeah, this is a waste of time, this. So you cut the 1 onto the 3, and you at least bring the 3 ball up, and you leave the 1 ball there or thereabouts for the time being. Get at least 1 ball in play. Now, this is a rack that could have been over 10 minutes ago. But finally, the 5 ball goes down. The only problem is that Progressive Pool's played a poor shot, because he's brought the cue ball up the table, set it for a nice 2-rail carom onto the 1. See, that's poor thinking as well. That's what you don't want to do. It's sneaking round the back, yeah. So that was not a very well thought out shot by Progressive Pool. I mean, you pot the 5 ball, you've got to think about where you're putting the cue ball. Well, it might end up a nail biter here, this first rack. But Sergeresh has battled. That's going to go wide. Oh, this 5 ball cracking in a nasty place. If you're Progressive Pool, this is a gift for Sergeresh. Now he has to just keep the 1 ball in play, not hook himself. Right, what's he got? Well, he's got the in off into the side. I think he's got to stun this in into the opposite side pocket. Oh, excellent. Well, that's a good finish for Sergeresh. He stuck to his strategy, and it all worked out in the end for him. But Progressive Pool made a mistake there, though, on how he played that 5 ball. So a very good start for Sergeresh in this match, the survival match. Well, that's the thing that Sergeresh needs to. It looks to me that Sergeresh hasn't scratched enough yet on that shot to actually know that that's the one that burns the fingers. You know, playing that at that pace to get the stun, and you know he hasn't actually scratched enough of it to learn his lesson. You know, and he's getting away with it there, but sooner or later he's going to find he's scratching like 3 times out of 4 the next time he tries it, and then it'll begin to sink in that that's not the shot you want to be forced into playing. Of course, now Progressive Pool with his first opportunity in rack 2, try and build up a score. Now, I think I'd be stunning this 3 ball down to come down the left side behind the 5. I would actually stun it so that I'm not going to the rail too soon. See, he's went straight to the rail. And this is no good. Not really. Because you see where that my idea was to bring the cue ball down this way, so I would possibly have a force follow 5-3. He didn't see that shot, and he just let loose. You know, when you start leaving caroms like that, where you've got to start running rails to get there, it's always going to be tough. So progressive pools, again, he just didn't see the how to progress that run there. But there was the option I was talking about, and it was all to do with how you pot that 3 ball. But if you pot it and stud the cue ball, you're coming this direction, and you're possibly in the line for the 5-3. It might not work out, but that's how you have to visualise your follow-up shot. He just hit the ball and sort of hoped there. Sergeresh off and running again. And that'll certainly settle any nerves that he's got with that first rack. You know, he won it. He actually put in the high run of the rack as well. What was it, 40 odd? So everything's progressed a lot better than the performance he had in his first match. This is far, far better, and good prospects for the rest of the match if he keeps that sort of standard up. I think I've just jinxed him there. Run ends in 22. By the way, it was interesting what I heard in the news about that doctor. Was it, what the hell island was it he was on? Malta or whatever the hell it was. They say that he died of natural causes. Well, what the hell does that mean? You know, and you know he's lying down a rocky hillside. What the hell does dying of natural causes? What, is it natural to fall down a hillside? I mean, you know, give us a bit more detail for God's sake. Seems a bit weird. The whole thing seems weird to me. Well, I think the best you're going to get out of this is a 5-3 carom if you come down the bottom half of the table. But he hasn't potted the 5, so likewise for Sergeresh, he's got to get the cue ball out of there. Now this is going to be another stun to get to the 1 ball. Got it on a nice edge. If he pots the 5, he'll come over the left side. He wouldn't want to pot the 5 too heavy. He's going to pot the 1, but if he pots the 5, he could come over left side for a 5-3 carom. He's now going to go 2 rails, I would assume, into the back of that 5, rather than going direct to it. You've got to go either the 1 or 2 rails into it. Yeah, but that still doesn't explain to me what natural causes means. I mean, Is that just actually a standard report to the press that there was nothing funny going on, like somebody threw him down the hillside or whatever, or somebody pushed him down the hillside? I mean, what does natural causes mean? Did he die of a heart attack? Did he die of heat exhaustion? I mean, did he have a stroke? I mean, why the hell is he lying down at the bottom of a hillside? Did he trip over and bump his head? I mean, there's no proper explanation coming out. So it just seems far too vague. Yeah, well, there you go. If that's the case, then, you know, you shouldn't go bloody tramping about in 30-odd degree heat with the sun baking down on you. What the hell? What did Progressive Pool get a fluky caramel? So I would never bloody give up this apologising bullshit. Does my head in when I see folk apologising in a bloody game where flukes are 10 a penny some days. Well, this rack's shaping up to be something on the more conventional side between players who can't, you know, hit the spot and start putting a decent run together. It's going to be bits and bobs in the race to get to 90. Yeah, stop apologising. In fact, apologising in the chat is a mutable offence. So it is. And I've had to time out. Who was it the other night? There's Simanx coming in and using disgusting language in the chat. We'll have none of that now that I know how to moderate on my phone. I mean, we've got to have a bit of civility in here. Well, that's Stubbs' department, that. Bullshit is Stubbs' department. But now we shouldn't have mentioned his name, he might appear. Well, this is an out of sequence shot by Progressive Pool. And that's what happens when you lose track of what you're doing, you're busy scoring, and you forget that you're potting out a sequence. And he could regret that. You know, he's let Sergeresh back in. Progressive Pool's only got 3-point lead, and he might regret that mistake. Well, the cue ball's finishing in the kitchen, he'll be good to go. That's my department. Watch this. Run goes to 20 already. Going to be a slightly off straight 5 ball. The cue ball's running into the 1 here, or running down past the 1. Looking at the sort of angle that I can see. Yeah. Now he's sort of in no man's land. He's hit that too heavy. He didn't want to hit that as heavy as that, because now he's going to... He can go thin and go 1 rail or 2 rails into the back of that 3. Again, he's found a gap around the corner So the most important thing is, again, he's kept his points. Run ends in 26. Slender lead. Well, I'll be up. Linus, oh, that's a miss. Linus is usually up at that time in the morning on my days off anyway. And then on the odd occasion he plays cowboy doubles with us. So Larry's going to be up late tomorrow for him to play this match with Linus tomorrow. I'll be there for that. Sergeresh back at the table. Progressive Pool didn't get rid of the deficit in that visit. So if ever you want encouragement, you're certainly getting it, Sergeresh. But he's missed the pot. Oh, now that was a big opportunity there to really get knocking on the door of 90. And it's all backfired with one shot. Oh, the 5 balls now threatening to go out of the game. Now this is finished perfect, that cue ball. Bring the 5 into play again. Well, not quite. You certainly don't want to be playing many caroms to it unless you're up in the top side of that 5 ball. Once again, Progressive Pool's contribution is still not getting him there. But he's been fortunate he's left this. I mean, he certainly left a carom. Doubt about that. So 5 ball goes on its spot. And he can set up a 3-1 carom here, but he really wants to go a long. Well, is that thin enough? Let me have a look. Well, that's fine. You can work that. 1 ball's went in. And if he just rolls the 1 in, well, he's going to pot the 5. But again, if he just rolls it in, you know, he wants to. I think he wants to still leave himself up here. The surefire way of doing it is just to roll the 1 in and stay sort of there. He's trying to play the 5 soft, but he's now you see now he's in this dangerous territory. He can go the safest route's the force follow. He doesn't want to bang this 1 to get to the 5. You've got to force follow to the 3. And he needs a ball to come into play here for a pot. Although you can thin cut that 3, that shouldn't be a problem. And the other thing also is that if he just plays this at a nice pace, he can stay below the 3 and work up the table. He's looking at the 5. I don't know why. He should be thin cutting the 3. This is not a gimme, but he's got it. And he's on 83, so again, got to keep track of what you're doing. Well, I think this time he's got to go for the 3. Or is he going to go for the 5 and try and nudge something for the extra point? Because that would take him to 90. Well, he hasn't got to 90. And he's got a dangerous attempt at a carom here. This is asking for trouble. And that's why, that is exactly my point. That is why So he's on the brink of 80 of 90, but he's given Progressive Pool a bit of a lifeline here to try and get back in this. Oh, this is a perfect shape for the force follow. That's exactly the line you want to finish on. If you can do that every time, you'll never miss a force follow. Although he tried his best to miss it there, got it a bit thin. So 5 ball back in its spot and stay right side of the table. Oh, that's terrible. In fact, everything about that was wrong. He never really controlled it. Missed the 5, but it has to go down as a big fail again for Progressive Pool. And that was all you had to do was drop that 5 ball in and just let the cue ball come out slightly. So he played it all wrong. But again, he never left anything simple for Sergeresh. Sergeresh having to run rails to try and get a carom. He didn't have a decent pot anywhere. And this is where Progressive Pool can gradually just chip away at that number and favour it now to probably get to 91st. Well, again, I know what I'm doing. I don't know what Progressive Pool's thinking, but I'm going forward to stay above the 3. Give me that line down to the 5 or from the 5 to the 1. So it gives you that choice. Well, there's no brainer here. I'd be playing the 1 and staying there for the 1-5 combo. Now the problem with what he's just done there is he's letting the cue ball run loose. Is he going to get lucky? I think he has. Because there's no way he played for that. That's just, that's not playing a specific shot. That's just playing and letting the cue ball roll and hoping you're good. But he's finished pretty well. Bear in mind it's the carom he needs, so he can. I presume is he going force follow here? I'm lying back in my chair and looking at this, and I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised he didn't play the draw to the 3 ball. So Progressive Pool didn't get to 90. And I don't know that that's any good. Well, he's going to have to chip it. It's not gone to the rail. He had to sort of maybe get a wee bit more forcefulness in that shot, maybe to stun it to the rail a wee bit sooner. So now it's that final straight between 90 and 100. It's the dash. Who's going to win it this time? So now all square. Got to be careful with the pace of this in case you bump the 5 in. A bit like that almost. So now the 5's dead again. Here we go. Round 2. I can see how this is shaping up. The 5 ball's immediately dead. And the 3 ball tried to be dead as well. Luckily it's bounced out slightly. Now there might be a force follow on pushing this 1 ball directly to the rail and then going through with the cue ball. He's got to make sure the one ball's missing the hit on the three ball at the same time he's playing that. That's what he's tried. And he's scratched. But now, of course, you've got the two balls in the kitchen and only one live ball with ball in hand. Oh, that'll work. 2-point lead. Oh dear, well bang goes that. So likewise for Sergeresh. Oh, this is going to be... Well, I'd be going left side and just running down. Oh, no, he'd much rather just guarantee he's going to lose his point, so he drew into the side pocket. And now we've got three balls in the kitchen, so of course Progressive Pool has to play out the kitchen. And Sergeresh, if he's wise to this, got to be on his toes here, because if Progressive Pool doesn't hit anything here, well, he has. Sergeresh could have just potted the cue ball and forced him into having another go at that, and maybe end up in two fouls. You've got to get down and dirty if you have that opportunity, particularly at this stage of the rack. So, going to be a long haul in these caroms, in these two racks, working with just the two balls. That's a good shot there from Sergeresh. Very good shot. Now this is a very thin hit if he was going to the three ball first, because you're in danger of scratching the cue ball. When ball's in kitchen. Aye, I mean, that's what I was saying. I mean, you've got to be on your toes to a situation in the kitchen. Whoever, if your opponent plays a shot and ends up on a foul after they've played the shot and the balls are all in the kitchen, if they're all spaced apart in the kitchen, then the first thing you do when you come to the table with ball in hand is sling the cue ball into a pocket. Give him a second go to get a hit, and if he doesn't get it in the second go, then the pressure's really on. I've never been able to do that yet in a game of Cowboy, and I don't think anybody's ever done that to me yet either, although I think we've tried to do it to each other at some point, but we've not been successful. Now, talking about balls in kitchen, so Progressive Pool with a 2-point lead. And again, I keep going back to that first rack where the two players left the 5 ball there and left it there and left it there. But again, as I say, there's always a time to take the risk and bring a ball back into play, but now's not the time. You've got to be thinking on how you manoeuvre these balls to your favour. Sergeresh is quite happy to be trying taking the points, and judging by how he did it in that first rack, I don't blame him. I mean, it all worked out for him. It wasn't the way I would have done it, but it did work out for him. Now, for example, I'm potting a 5-ball every day of the week. Right now, I'm potting a 5-ball, leaving the cue ball in the pocket there. That's what I'd have been doing to bring the 5-ball in play, because I have no patience to be messing about for 20 odd minutes in caroms. I want balls in play, so it allows us to get the game done. But that 5-ball would no longer be sitting there if that was me. But Sergeresh is hanging in there. Back to within one. And he's got a very good follow-up here. I mean, this is a very big target. Oh, and he's missed it. Oh, and again, the worst thing about that is the way he was playing the shot. He was always bringing the one ball across. Now, this is a little tricky one because you can go, obviously, to the top rail and you want to sort of left spin this to make sure you're heading in towards the one ball. No, he's trying to get it thin. Well, not the way I would have done it. Because if you kick that one from the back, the chances are you're going to bump the one out and you're going to leave an easy follow-up. You know, he's managed to spin and dig another one out. But he had to use a wee bit of weight there, and you see the line that one ball was running. Any heavier, it was scratching. You're trying to play caroms where there's little or no risk involved. It's when you have to run another ball to, if you're having to hit a ball hard so that you can create the carom, then that ball that's running loose is always a danger. Well, Sergeresh has just said to Progressive Pool, here, I'll set you up to a carom here, help yourself. That's what he's done with that shot. Because he's going to get at least 2 here. 2 freebies. And if he can keep these in a line here, he could be out. 99. Well, you see where he went wrong there with that shot. He put right English on it for a start. As far as I'm concerned, that shot there, you're looking at how much of the one ball you're taking to get that line, not by putting right English on it. That's why he ended up going to this rail way too soon. You take a bigger chunk of the one ball to get a better line off the rail to go across into the corner rather than trying to spin it up. And Sergeresh has just handed this rack in a plate. Because this is a pretty straightforward force follow into that top corner. Was he going to the rail too soon? No. Right, well, that all backfired there, Sergeresh. 1 apiece, and we have been playing for 1 hour and 12 minutes. So Progressive Pool with the break off in rack number 3, and that's a big failure there. He's not hit that at all. That's just a very poor shot. Didn't get the top in the cue ball to get it running. Didn't hit it. Took his eye off the ball. I noticed also in the sports news Oh dear, what the hell's happening with these guys? Sergeresh is going to need to check his specs here. Did he hit that? My God, I didn't even see him hit it. It's my specs that have gone. I'm just saying there that the sports news, I noticed there was no... The story's exactly the same on Alan Hansen from what I heard yesterday. But he's seriously ill in hospital. Nobody's saying anything. Unless any of you guys have heard anything different. When I read it today, it just said exactly the same as it said yesterday. He's seriously ill in hospital, but they ain't saying what it is, how he ended up there, whatever. But like I say, when they do release a press release like that, it always isn't. You know, it's never good news. It means that the prospects aren't good. That's what I read into it. But I suppose if you live in the real world, and in all honesty, it's really none of our business what the hell's wrong with the guy. You know, the family's quite right in doing, you know, keeping it like that if they want. It's none of our bloody business. Much as we would all like to know, but it's at the end of it, it's none of our business. Well, this could end up being one of these long nights. I mean, the first two racks, in actual fact, ended up going over the average. Probably, you know, on a reasonable rack of cowboys should be over in about 30 minutes. Maybe slightly less than that. And those first two racks had the potential of doing that, but what held them up was the fact that one ball goes dead. That's what prolonged the two racks. You're not getting good shape, having to try and work miracles with the cue ball. Always adds up to a short run. The run ends in 18. The lead is slender. Well, again, my ball going in its spot, but more importantly, where's the cue ball going? That looks not too bad. I mean, it's still not great. In fact, it would have been much better if it was over this side with the cue ball. This was far more comfortable a carom going from here than it is from here. So, progressive pool is certainly giving Sergeresh enough opportunities to be pulling away from him already in this rack. You know, your goal every time you come to the table, especially if you're behind in this phase of the game, the first major goal is get rid of the deficit before you leave the table. You don't want to be keeping chipping backward and forward. Hang on a minute. I had a bloody pop-up there. My malware software had a pop-up and it said it's updated. And I was just checking to see everything was shut down. That chat will update in a minute. So in the meantime, Progressive Pool is back at the table. Oh, did he catch that one? No, he didn't. That's a big fail there. That's a huge miss. I mean, that was a simple carom. He's missed it altogether. Well, again, Sergeresh, you're getting enough encouragement here. Only thing is, you've got to make one count to really get away from him. Now, I think that 5-ball, I think he should be good here. But then again, he's cut that too far left and actually cut the 5 to the rail instead of going to the right of the 5-ball. So, once again, it's about opportunity missed there for Sergeresh. Well, this Progressive Pool going to clear the deficit and get a lead here. Well, he's okay because he can now get the 1-ball back in its spot. This is what you really want. You want the conventional table back because that then gives you a good grounding to continue your run. Now the objective is building your lead, and no, again he's not found a line. The force follow. That's an abbreviated visit again, although he's got a slight lead, but that's not really going to trouble Sergeresh. But it's another one of these pretty common racks that we get in Cowboy where, you know, neither player can make a contribution and it's all bits and pieces, and the battle starts when it gets to the caroms. This looks as if it's how it's going to shape up in this rack. But you never know, you know, a player can kick in at any time. It's still good enough. So now, again, get that 5 on the spot and then decide where you're going with the cue ball. Are you stopping the cue ball the left side of the one as we look, or are you running through the right side of the one? So he's going right side of the one, but again, he's gone too far to give him the 2-shot option. He's now got only the 1-shot option. Had he finished a wee bit further left, he would have had a 2-shot option, a shot choice. But just by overrunning it too far, he narrowed it down to a 1-shot option. And now, of course, The 5 balls in not a healthy position either. Well, if that was me, I'd be potting the 5. I'd be cutting the 5 down the rail. In fact, tell a lie, I wouldn't be, because it was a carom. So I'm out of sequence again. Well, he took the risk, got the hit, and he's got it out into the game. And his prospects are reasonable for adding to his slender lead at the moment. I'm lying back in my chair half asleep here. What time is it? Have a look. It's 5 to 8. It's getting to, you know, the body clock bedtime where the brain starts shutting down. I noticed that, in fact, I'll just do that now just to annoy people. I noticed that the, the snooker sign-ups, I noticed that according to Napnicker, he said he sent a message to Barker's. I had a quick look earlier this afternoon. Still no Barker's. Albinario, Chiku, Coldest Pillow. I think there's a couple more sign-ups. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But like I say, if I had it my way, this tournament would have ran in April alongside the Real World Championship, because that's when people's interest is fired up. Running it in June and July is no good. Got to have it running at the same time every year if you can. Of course, that's the problem with doing multiple World Championships. They all run into one another. No more matches added. We'll just get the Larry Linus match tomorrow morning and the Tam and Slim match at the weekend. Meanwhile, though, we've got Progressive Pool back at the table. Sergeresh finish. His total's now on 78. So he's got a little lead, and that's, you know, whatever lead it is, it's good enough to add a bit more pressure to Progressive Pool to actually get rid of that right now. Well, it's going to be a thin cut in the one. That's let's have a look at the one. In fact, that's far too thin, so he's got to play the 3. And that cue ball needs to run. It needs to run. That's short. I mean, he wanted to be up a bit here. No, I'm hedging my bets that he might not be around because he might be away on holiday. That's what starts happening this time of year. I'm sure he never thought that it would be running through to July. Or maybe, I mean, obviously, if you've got holidays booked up, they're booked up. But I'm sure he would never expect that, because it's always ran round about April. And that's what happens when you don't see. This is what happens when people aren't on the ball and getting things done on their anniversary. When anniversaries are coming round, then you should plan ahead to get things set so that they are coming round at their anniversary, not running 2 or 3 months over time. In fact, some of them are going best part of a year past their anniversary. And I think the only way to recover that is that, you know, you either don't do so many, or you drop, you know, something has to be dropped for a year. Good afternoon, good evening to Bill. Well, it's another short and sweet visit from Progressive Pool. And Sergeresh now favourite to get to 90. If he can get a shot in here straight away. Well, he's actually just got into the cue ball a little too much there and killed it too much, but he's still okay. And the one ball going in might help him there, because he's got a choice, but the carom up to the 3 is dangerous if you stun it, which he has to do for it to hold the line. And then the problem there is if you hit it half ball, you can end up scratching, as you always do. But again, that's a good recovery. So now he needs another good one for the carom. No, we'll never be that organised. Well, I think the one way it can be organised is if you decide what you're going to have every year, right? For example, we have 9 ball, and we have, if you decide you're going to have the most popular games, you're going to have 9 ball, 10 ball, and a version of 8 ball, probably 8 ball world, and then snooker. So if you have that as your base, or your basis for doing championships each year, then you can fit them in as long as you do them at the right time. So if April's the snooker, then April's the snooker, and it coincides with the real world championship. There's no ifs or buts. That's when it should be, and then you work everything else around that. But everything else that you do around that has to be just the popular games. I mean, it ended up that what do you call it? Honolulu never went ahead, which might at the end of the day not been a bad thing. So I think if you then just come to the conclusion and make a decision that there's only going to be the snooker, the 9 ball, the 10 ball, and 8 ball. I mean, there could be the 8 ball world, there could be the 8 ball bar table world championships that we had, but there's certain ones you're not going to do every year because there's just not enough time in the year to do them. Well, Progressive Pool 3 points behind, so again, oh, he's going to get the bonus. He's going to get the bonus there. That takes him to 89. Well, good luck with getting your extra point. He might be okay though. Ah, he is. He should be fine. Tell a lie. It's the one ball he needed to pot, wasn't it? Because he's still not in the caroms yet. He was stuck to the one ball. So now the one ball's out the game. Sergeresh can't pot it. Now I would hope that Progressive Pool pots it when he gets back to the table. I still think we should have well, I don't know what the hell Progressive Pool did there. First of all, I don't think he looked at how the one ball was sitting, and he ends up making a complete hash of it. Cue ball. Right, so there's one ball out the kitchen, and Progressive Pool going to draw to the one and pretty much put it out the game again. I still think we should have a doubles world championship. I do seriously think we should. Like, what is it? They have the World Cup of Pool. What the hell's it called? That one where the teams from different parts of the world play. Is it World Cup of Pool? They have that every year. I think we should have that. And if we should have it, then it should be as and when the players can arrange their matches, and therefore probably not done in a tourney system. I think it should just be sort of done in a sheet of paper, and you can still run it. It's the only way that you're not, messing about with deadlines as such. You can come to agreement between yourselves, you and your partner, as to how you're going to arrange things. But it's ambitious to try and do it. But then again, you'd have to have some set in stone rules as to who can team up with each other. You have to have at least one numpty in the team rather than two sharks. So you'd have a shark and a numpty as your partner. To make it fair, that is. Well, in all honesty, I'll tell you the truth, I wouldn't have anything against actually scrapping the Virtual World Snooker Championship now and holding it off. I would have nothing against that because I don't think it should be ran in July. You know what I mean? I think I think I'm all actually for scrubbing it and ditching it and making sure it's set for next year rather than running it in July. I don't like running it in July. I don't think it's right because it's at the time of year when people are supposed to play matches, but they may well have holidays booked and all of that stuff, and it just sort of spoils the tournament when somebody can't be there. So if somebody said pull the plug in the snooker now and we'll leave it until next year, then fine. I wouldn't argue with it. And stick something else in instead. Well, what about a novelty? I stick a novelty one in instead. Stick one pocket in. That'll be over quick. Aye, but obviously at this time of the year in the UK, I'm thinking, you know, it's coming to prime time holiday time. Numpty and Gervie. What the hell does that mean? What's Gervie? Or is that a typo? Well, I mean, these three racks so far have all ended up with a ball dead in a pocket. Sooner or later, but Progressive Pull is going to kill this rack right here and now for a 2-1 lead. It's a good stunt, yeah. Played it well, well controlled. You'll be a sterner test against Monster. Is it? I've never heard of that terminology. A Gervie is someone. What is? I don't. You know, it's not even like an abbreviation for something, is it? A Gervie is someone who drinks out the bottle. Does that include Iron Brew? So 99 minutes we've been at this now, and that's for 3 racks of Cowboy. So we're slightly, just slightly above average in terms of times to get these racks done. But here we go again. I don't think there was really anything worth mentioning in terms of a contribution in that last rack from either player. It was all bits and bobs till eventually they hit 90. Yeah, we call them Alkies in Scotland. Well, open table for Progressive Pull, so he's got a simple force follow to the 3 if he wants, or the pot and the 5 and leaving the 1 and the 3, but again, he never played that well. He got into it far too much, but he's still okay. I mean, he's still got an open table. And he's still got an open table again. As long as you keep potting a ball and carrying the other ball, you'll still have an open table to follow. And another one. Table still open for what, about the 4th time? But not anymore. Now it has to be the carom. Wafer thin in the 5. And the 3 ball is bumped nicely, so he can get that back in its spot. Come down the table while he might be one of these point hungry players where he's more content potting the 5 ball for the points rather than looking for the sort of guaranteed position. Now this has worked out because he's got the draw, but drawing onto a ball and hitting a half ball hard, well, he didn't hit it hard, so he's fine. And again, the 5 ball coming back into play. So unless he gets a carom to that 3 ball, the 3 ball's a bit isolated at the moment. Is semi-pro entering the snooker? I think, I mean, he's had his fingers burnt once too often, hasn't he? He might well do if Barkers isn't in it. Bill just stirring the pot. Bill doing a bit of fishing there, seeing if he can reel anything in. He's just dangling the bait in the water there. He's just checking for any bites. Sergeresh on a run of 23. Doing a bit of banging. But more important with that shot, getting the 3 ball into play. Now he's got to make the carom, which is not a gimme. And here endeth the run. The run is 29. The lead is very slender at 1 point. So I think the most important thing, obviously, with this rack is that Sergeresh gets to 90 first. If he doesn't, he's probably waving bye-bye. And he's been given the opportunity to try and get closer to that 90 because a visit of 1 from Progressive Pool isn't exactly applying the pressure. Well, I never noticed. I never even noticed Tommy had arrived. Tommy typed something in the chat about an hour. It seems about an hour ago, and I've just read it at the top of the screen, where he says Progressive run out with 9 caroms. Never even noticed that. Welcome to Tommy if he's still awake, or even if he's still here. And then I look at the chat and I look back at the screen and suddenly Progressive Pool's back at the table. And Sergeresh is not making any inroads to that 90, or at least he's not making big enough contributions at a time when he desperately needs one. No. I've given Eurotruck a break for now. What I was actually doing today was just doing the boring stuff in Alaskan Truck Simulator. Heading north and heading south, heading north, heading south, just to try and get my points up so that I can progress my trucker. It's just a long grind now, as it has been for weeks and weeks. And finding bugs, of course. Did you see my bug that I found the other day there, where I went into a parts store in one of the towns, and I decided I'd go behind the counter where the salesperson was standing at the till. I went behind the counter to go and have a look at the sign and look at the bench, and found that my player was embedded into the floor. I couldn't bloody move. So I made the video and I posted that on Discord to let them see it. This is a game we're talking about that they are actually they're releasing in the console in July. Now, right, well, there's not a great deal happening in this rack, so let's just do a bit of a catch up here. If we go to 2023 and we look at that, we will see that in 2023 we had the 9-ball World Championship, which is actually was in February 2000. You got the Snooker World Championship, we had Bank Pool, 8-ball Bar Table, we had Straight Pool, and that Straight Pool was in August. So if you think about that, then the next World Championship by that anniversary should be Straight Pool. If you look at, you get 3 cushion, which is October, you get Black Ball, which is October, and you've got 10 ball, which was, what was it, December, yeah, October, then December. So by rights, looking at that, the next one should be Straight Pool. Well, Sergeresh is on a little bit of a run here. Is this going to be a significant contribution to get to 90? At the moment, it looks as if it's heading that way. But he's got to be careful. He's running that cue ball loose there. And again, he's played that far too heavy. He's taking big risks here. This could go down the pan very quickly the way he's going. Run goes to 35. He's on 79 and getting to that critical stage. That cue ball just needs to hold up. Now this is tricky. He's going to the 1. Well, any more weight in that shot, and that cue ball was following straight into the side pocket. So he's walking a tightrope here. The run is 41. The 5 takes him to 90, and now, of course, you don't want to lose the points. Well, this is a vital contribution now for his survival. Look at the 5 ball. Well, he can bank the 3 to the short rail, go to the side rail. That wasn't the way I'd have done it. I think the far better odds was to actually, cut across the 3 and send it there and go to the rail and bump the 5. I think that was a far better shot. But the most important thing of all, his run ended with him into the caroms. So now he's got progressive pull with a bit of pressure on him. But I really do think if Sergeresh is going to take this match all the way, whenever he gets back to the table, he wants to be getting a run of 2 or 3, or the more the merrier, obviously, but he doesn't want to be doing this in ones and ones and ones and ones, because all the time he's doing that, progressive pull is getting ever closer. Well, progressive pull ends that visit with no score. Sergeresh doesn't have an easy starter, but he's made it. Nice little draw to the rail. He's got a follow-up as well. Looking at this. See, I'd have been much more inclined to play the force follow there for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm knowing that the 3 ball is going around the back of that 3, that 1, and coming it back up into the table to probably set me up with another option. And again, just another little opportunity that Sergeresh missed out on there by, not seeing a route to progress with that shot. That's not getting there at all. There's no line there at all. And again, it's a case of Sergeresh getting these opportunities. He wants to be as far down the line to this 100 as he can before progressive pull gets to that 90. And if I'm Sergeresh, I'm getting a bit worried that I ain't doing it. I get the feeling that progressive pull is determined to get to 90 here. He's determined not to make a mistake. Well, that takes him to 85. He would like to pot this 5 clean. Get it back on its spot. But his next caram's going to be a good one. He's cut down below it. So, well, objective completed. Run of 23, but the most important thing of all is he's in the carams and he's breathing down Sergeresh's neck. And once again, we've got a ball that is almost dead. The one ball's no good sitting there unless you're me and you're looking for 3 railers to get to it. Well, here's a possible 2-3 railer off the 5 ball. He's not even looked at that. He's trying to go the thin edge, and he's got it. And he's hit it from the right side as well, just from the back side of it there. And it's just brought the one ball a wee bit further away from the pocket. Well, this is odds on it's going to double kiss this one ball. But if he can hit it half ball either side, well, he's well away from it. He could have brought it sort of back into the table there, but he was a mile away from it. And this time Progressive Pool should be able to improve the situation. And now it's a lot better. And he now ties the game. And now the one ball's dead again. Back to square one. Well, he never really got into the cue ball there at all. Never got any movement. But Progressive Pool has a one-shot lead. And Sergeresh has found his way into the corner pocket. So nothing simple for Progressive Pool to advance here. Playing the draw into the 5. 3 balls going to be going wide. But he's got the little 2 or 3 railer to get to the 5. He's just cutting straight across. That'll work. Now, where's the follow up here? Is he trying to nurse this cue ball down to that one? Well, I wouldn't say he nursed that. He actually hit it far too heavy. Caught the left side of the one, and in goes the cue ball. So that has let Sergeresh right off the hook there. He's been given a very big lifeline there. Now, can he take advantage of it? He's still got a follow-up. 1 to the 3. Not difficult. Well, he caught that 3 thin. Oh, now he's in trouble. 3 ball was always edging closer to that corner pocket. Well, cut and run. You'll get four carams. I wouldn't be risking running the cue ball or potting the one. Well, this is one of these watch this moments. Cut the left side of that one, but don't pot it and run the cue ball. 1, 2, 3, 4 rails onto the 5. That's very well played. Oh, he's going behind it. Oh, now, is this the make or break shot here? He can go 2 rails to kick the back of the one, or he can try and go 1 rail to bump straight into it. He's caught the edge. Well, he's got the 2-3 railer off the 3 down to the 1. But again, Sergeresh, that was a sort of half-hearted effort. He didn't really want to do anything where he was. I mean, he actually almost scratched again, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But meanwhile, Progressive Pull nips another one back. Trailing by 2. Match is in the balance right now. You love a watch this, of course I do. I love doing them. I love them even better when they actually work. Half the time they don't. Well, good luck with this shot. Well, that's the 3 ball completely out the game now. And he does have a follow-up though, but he could end up pushing this 1 over the hole as well now. And that's exactly what he's done, pretty much. And it's 97 apiece. Oh, that's another beautiful little shot. I mean, killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. He gets the 1 ball out of the problem area. Gets the carom onto the 3. Oh dear, that's a disaster though. That is a complete fail. Major brain fart there from Progressive Pull. I don't know what kind of spin he was thinking he was going to get out of that and where the cue ball was going to end up doing that. Big fail. And no sooner have I said that than Sergeresh says, hang on a minute, let me set you up with the caroms that you need to win the match. And we'll just make it a nice and easy start for you. Oh dear, Progressive Pull blown a gasket again. He's not hit the ball, and he's handed it right back in a plate to Sergeresh. Well, this is gone stupid. There's major brain malfunction happening here. And it's almost as if Progressive Pull's getting nervous about actually winning the match. Well, Sergeresh won't be winning it with a table like this, I'll tell you that right now. Well, he had a good go there. The best thing that would have happened there would actually the 5 ball going in. Progressive Pull taking the initiative, but he has left the possibility of a carom, not an easy one. Sergeresh has got it. Oh, he had a double kiss, and of course he's potted the 5. Well, just when Sergeresh needs a run of the ball, he ain't getting it. And it's Progressive Pull that gets the carom, brings the 1 into play. Still trailing by 3. Well, he's got a choice in how he plays this. He can go 5, short rail, maybe long rail and back of the 1. Hit it direct. Now he can again. He can bank the. No, he's going direct from the 1 direct. Is he going to a rail? Is he trying to do this draw shot again? He's trying to do this at a draw stun. He's got it. Well, he's doing a lot of things right, getting these little fancy caroms, and he's now all squared 99 apiece. Match could be over, and it certainly should be now, because that one ball is sitting pretty good. Let's have a look if the force follows on here. Let's have a look. Yep, he should be home and dry. Game, set, and match to progressive pull. Can't see him missing this. Uh-oh. Then maybe again, maybe there was. What prediction? For this match with Germany, 4-0 to Germany. Or at best for Scotland, 4-1. In fact, in typical Scots fashion, Scots will get the first goal and then they'll lose 4-1. And I'm being generous saying 4-1. There we are. We have a result and a good final scratch there from Progressive Pool. Sergeresh started off well enough, but then he didn't maintain that sort of level required, and Progressive Pool is the player that advances. You said 1-1, that'll never happen. So let's just look at the bracket now, because I don't know where that match was in the bracket. Let's have a look. Progressive Pool right in the bottom of the bracket there. He's now waiting on the winner of Jose and Yuri Master, whenever they're going to play. Now the deadline for their match is June the 16th. And then there's like Fast Eddies through. Linus and Larry play tomorrow morning. Woody's sitting there waiting on the winner of Matt and Casino Jim. So the only two matches on the schedule are the one that I said there tomorrow morning between Larry and Linus. That is 9 AM my time. I'll be there for that. And Tam and One Pocket Slim on Sunday. I hope to be there for the start of it. I might not be, but I will be streaming whatever I can on that once I've been home and get fed. So that is us. And that is it, folks. Thanks for your company. And we will no doubt see you again very soon, whenever that might be. So I'll bid you good night. Take care. See you later, guys.